Folks, Pete Buttigieg is a moron. The bar over there at Team Biden is admittedly very low, but just when we think it couldn't get any worse, especially considering last week Joe told us to go lick the world, well, Pete decided to pull his share of the loser weight with this expert diagnosis of racist roads. Take a listen.
We've got a crisis when it comes to roadway fatalities in America. We lose about 40,000 people every year. It's a level that's comparable to gun violence. And we see a lot of racial disparities. Black and brown Americans, tribal citizens, and rural residents much more likely to lose their lives, whether it's in a car or as a pedestrian being hit by a car. There are a lot of reasons related to discrimination, related to even the ways that roads are designed and built. Who has access to a safe street design that's got crosswalks and good lighting? Who doesn't have that access? That can drive disparities, and we have a responsibility to act on that.
Okay, let me get this straight. Pete is really trying to tell us roads have been designed in this country to be systemically racist against people of color. So city planners nationwide just sat down one day and said, you know what? Let's design these roads to make sure black and brown people are easier to hit and run over. I'm sure that was it. Pete has now told us climate change is racist, construction is racist, infrastructure is racist, and now roads and crosswalks. But I guess trains are not, given he doesn't give a rat's ass about the poor white Trump supporters in East Palestine, Ohio. Pete is the poster boy for white guilt. And as much as I can't stand Al Sharpton, Pete is so much worse. He's like your white liberal neighbors who have those Black Lives Matter signs prominently displayed in their yards in a pathetic attempt to be cool with actual black people. He pretends to be so down with the culture, but we all know he listens to Taylor Swift and would never be caught dead in an inner city past dusk. Pete, you literally could not get any whiter or any more disingenuous. Please, just stop. Yeah, folks, we are still talking about Bud Light, and here's why. The apology from Anheuser-Busch CEO Brendan Whitworth late last week wasn't a freaking apology. I'm not going to read the whole statement because, quite frankly, it's tone deaf and skirts the entire point, which leads me to believe this woman may have written it. But basically, CEO Brendan Whitworth said the company never intended to divide people, peace, love, inclusion, blah, blah, blah. Let's go, Brendan. You missed the whole point. And it's really so simple. Acknowledge that the partnership with a man who puts on a prom dress and pretends to be a teenage girl was a really stupid marketing move, and it pissed off your actual customers. It's that simple. But this apology, or lack thereof, has divided even the conservative community, with a very unlikely voice coming to Bud Light's defense, Don Jr.
Anheuser-Busch totally shit the bed with this Dylan Mulvaney thing. I'm not, though, for destroying an American and iconic company for something like this. Trust me, the memes have been so good, I'm sitting there chomping at it, like I want it. But like when I actually look into it, I'm not going to blame the whole company for the inaction or the stupidity of someone in a marketing campaign that got woke as hell. The company itself doesn't participate in the same leftist nonsense as the other big conglomerates. Frankly, they don't participate in the same woke garbage that other people in the beer industry actually do, who are significantly worse offenders when I looked into it. They'd be one of the more conservative-leaning companies in America. So they've been put on notice. I'm leaving them alone. I think you should probably do the same. If they do it again, they've been warned. But in the grand scheme of things, man, Anheuser-Busch, a lot less woke than the rest of corporate America. So I don't know that we want to kill the guys that are the least of the offenders.
So Don's perspective is that the Anheuser-Busch brand and family has been pretty good to Republicans over the years, so we should cut them some slack. I disagree. Bud Light has lost billions over this debacle, and it's maybe the first time conservatives have ever had the intestinal fortitude to send a message and actually fight back against the wokeism that we just bitch about. So no, I won't cut Bud Light any slack until they acknowledge that they effed up. I want to know who made the call to have Dylan Mulvaney as the brand partner, and I want to know if that person still works for the brand. And this isn't advocacy for cancel culture, it's business 101. If someone at a company makes a decision and that decision costs the company billions, then that person should probably find a new job. But Anheuser-Busch won't do that because Anheuser-Busch is still scared of the Rainbow Mafia and more concerned with appeasing folks that aren't even likely their customers over we the people who actually drink domestic light beer. And that's the point here. The company and its CEO are trying to walk a fine line and play the middle, which would have been fine and actually a good idea, but too bad you decided to jump way over to the left and push the LGBTQ barbecue. So here we are, Bud Light. You dug your own grave, and you don't have the decency or the wherewithal to acknowledge it. So guess what? Anheuser-Busch will continue to hemorrhage money and customers, and you can put out as many ultra super pro-America ads as you want until you own up to your F-up. We don't care. Sincerely, your actual customers.